Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Speaker Circle. Yes, I am so excited. Hope you guys are getting ready because tonight is the night. So, if this is your first time joining us at the Speaker Circle, I want to say welcome. If you are watching this from my page, make sure that you join the Speaker Circle because guess what? It's not going to stay on my page. And you are going to want to watch this replay, I guarantee, because tonight is going to be on fire. And I promise you, when I met this speaker, I said, this gentleman here has got to come to the Speaker Circle because your life will literally shift after hearing him speak. So the Speaker Circle is a space where we gather. If you are a speaker, if you thought about being a speaker, if you are ready to shift your life, then I guarantee the Speaker Circle is where you want to be. And so, again, this is a Facebook group where you can come, you can connect, and you can grow. And so I want to just give a shout out to our Speaker Circle of the week, our member of the week. And how do you become the member of the week? Simply by sharing, responding, and engaging. So shout out to our Speaker Member of the Week. Woo woo, yes. And so you can be the member of the week just by joining the fun, sharing, and engaging. Now, Saquana Taylor, guess what she did? She's seen different speaking opportunities. And guess what? She said, this might not be a speaker opportunity for me. But what she did was she tagged other people and said, look, you should apply for this speaker opportunity. You should get involved into this opportunity. And so that's what this is all about. This is not just about us rising individually, but us coming up together. So that's what I love about the Speaker Circle group. So we all can grow together. And so every month we bring a different speaker to the stage so that you can elevate your speaker game, right? We're going to elevate our speaker game. And if you were here last month, whoo, I'm telling you, you got to go back and listen to that last month. But I'm telling you, this month, I could not wait. I literally could not wait. So you are going to want to share this broadcast. All right, go get somebody, tag somebody, tell them, go get their pen, their piece of paper, get your cell phone, whatever you need to take notes because you're going to want to take notes. Let me tell you about Larry Beecham. He is professionally known as Larry the Champion Builder. Why? Because he knows how to build. Yes, he does. He is a builder. Yes, he is. And I could tell when I sat in and I accidentally ran in on a live that someone was interviewing him. And I literally started sharing his interview with other people because my mind shift after listening to this man. And he really touched me by some of the stuff he was saying. And I know he's going to touch you too. And he really talked about, and let me say this, he talked about how a lot of times we have all these gifts, right? Anybody on here got some gifts, and you don't really even know how to shift that gift to becoming something that you can monetize. Right? You just freely give, and you didn't even know that this gift could be something that could turn to be a gift that is given back to you. Your gift can not only be something that is given out, but you can also receive from it. Now, he says it way smoother than me because why? He's a builder, and that's exactly what he does. All right. But I'm telling you, he said something, and I won't forget. And I don't know if he's going to say it tonight because he'll say it good, but he said, the what and the why is free, but the how comes with the fee. Woo woo. Y'all, right there. Type that down. What? I'll never forget that. That shift my mindset. And you know what? A lot of us, we do that. We don't even realize how gifted we are because we naturally just do this. You all are so talented. You all have so many gifts, and you don't even realize that you could be monetizing what you have, right? And that you can literally shift your very life, even starting today by how you see yourself. Are you ready to build? That's what Larry is going to do today. And he provides services and tips on how to do that. I'm telling you, the interview literally changed when he talked about systems. Some of us, the reason why we are stuck where we're at is because we don't understand how to do it. We don't understand what to do. Some of us are like, well, I don't have the connections. I don't have the mindset. I don't know the know-how. Well, guess what? Larry is the builder. And so that's what he's going to do on today. So we have the number one connect in the house. Yes. We're going to give it up for Larry. All right. And he's going to save us a little time and energy because he's going to share these nuggets with you today. And as you are listening to him, I want you to make sure that if you have questions, put them in the comments. Yeah, somebody's already like throwing their hands up. They ready for you. Okay. They like, yes, bring it. Stop talking, Lanice. You be getting too hyped. Bring it. So if you have questions, they like, I'm here for it. I am here for it. If you have questions, make sure that you put them in the comments so that at the end, I'm going to bring my hype self back up so that we can make sure that we get those questions answered. So without further ado, we're going to show some hearts, some virtual love for Larry as he comes up and he gives us some building. All right. Show some love. Woo, woo. Yeah.
That's it.
Knock you out, Larry. Thank you.
What's up?
For being here.
It's my pleasure, man. You know what? I'm not around people with this kind of energy often, man. I need to have you come through the house once a week or something. You know what I'm saying? Man, like, look, I got Starbucks, but man, I got to put it in me, but it's just in you automatically, man. I'm excited to be here, man. This is awesome.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to step out and give you the stage. Thank you for being here, Larry.
Absolutely. So let me just do a quick intro. Once again, first of all, thank you for this opportunity to serve tonight. It's my honor and privilege to be here tonight. If you're watching this from wherever you are tonight, it's my goal to give you a sleepless night. That's kind of my promise everywhere I go. And it sets the stage for me because if that is my goal, I give you so much value that you kick your spouse, so much rolling around in bed that you got to send them or send yourself to the couch, then I did my job. So with that being said, I want to dive right into tonight's training. I'm excited because this actually did change my life. I'm going to tell a little bit of my story, but not so much where it dominates the conversation. Tonight, it's all about you. As a matter of fact, you're going to see that this entire presentation is all about you, right? So with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen. Sis, make sure once I get to where I need to be, you can actually see my screen and everything. Make sure we got my slides and everything up. All right. So I am sharing the screen, so you probably need to go ahead and click what you got to do. All right. Can you see my screen just to verify that?
We're good. You're awesome. On.
Sweet. All right. So I've been invited tonight to walk you through a 5-step strategy for turning what you know into immediate and recurring cash flow. It's knowledge into money. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Knowledge into money. So who is this for? It's for you. It's for anyone who has walked around knowledge that they know has value and wants to package and sell it in the marketplace without the struggle of trying to figure it out on your own. If we was in a live audience, I'd say raise your hand if that sounds like you. Bottom line is this, ladies and gentlemen, if you have an expertise, it's time you learn how to get paid to teach it. And not only that, it's time that you learn how to get paid, whether you're there live or not. I'm all about printing money. I'm all about being able to put myself in a situation where I can make money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on autopilot worldwide. Now, if that rings your bell, that's what I'm here to show you how to do. In the next 55 or so minutes, by the time I get finished, you will have a full blueprint on exactly how to make that happen. Now, over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about how to determine what's in your head that actually has real world value that people would be happy to buy from you. Also, how to take that knowledge and package it for sale with minimal stress, headaches, and mistakes. How to leverage a simple, non-technical process so you can start making money immediately, maybe even tomorrow. I'm also going to include my tried and true formula for overcoming your personal doubts, because I know you got a few, about whether someone will buy your knowledge. Why you don't have to be a guru, an expert, a celebrity, a well-known authority. You don't have to have any of the pedigrees, designations. None of that matters. You don't have to have any of that to make money with your knowledge. And I'm going to give you the keys to getting around all of that and how to do all of this, even if you've never been paid for what you know before. Okay. All right. So here's my promise to you, a step-by-step strategy to identify exactly what's in your head that can be turned into bread or money in the next 30 days or less, if, of course, you do the work. So here's kind of an overview of what we're going to get into tonight. So the first 5 minutes, I'm going to start off with a little bit of my background. Some of you, I assume, don't know who I am. So I want to kind of share a little bit of my background. That way you get an understanding of who I am. Then after I get through that, we're going to take the bulk of the time. We're going to get into the content, and I'm going to reveal some secrets to you about how to turn what you know into cash flow, right? And then we're going to talk about some complimentary coaching. I'll take about 5 minutes to talk about how you and I, depending on how this content hits you, how it resonates, how we can get together, and I can walk you through some steps necessary to start helping you print money from your walk around knowledge. And of course, we're going to spend a little time doing some Q&A. I hope I left enough time for Q&A, but we're going to allow at least 15 minutes for some Q&A. Fair enough? Now, does this sound like you? Raise your virtual hand if this sounds like you. Do you give away, and I mean give away, so much good information to people that you find yourself saying, man, I should be getting paid for this? Is that you, or is this you? Are you the quote unquote expert, unofficial, that everybody seems to call, text, come over to your house, hit you up on Facebook, Instagram, you're inboxing you because you got the answer to certain questions on certain subjects? Is that you? Are you that person? Have you doubted yourself by saying, man, I'm just a cable guy. I'm just a school teacher. I'm just a retired postal worker. I'm just. Who's going to listen to me? Or why would somebody pay me for something they can get anywhere? Now, that's a serious limiting belief if you got that one, but you might be that person tonight. Okay. Does this sound like you? Are you afraid to move forward because you don't have a designation, a degree, a pedigree, a certification? Somebody didn't anoint you with oil and say that you're worth it in a certain area? Is that how you feel? Is that who you are? Do you feel the need to just give away your knowledge because you're afraid to charge? Christian friends, like, I'm a believer, so I'm going to throw us under the bus collectively because we got this bad. Okay? Afraid to charge, afraid you won't charge enough, or you fear being judged for asking to be paid. Does that sound like you? Do you see the wonderful possibilities of making a life-changing income by helping people with what you know, but you just don't know where to start? Well, in my mind, the real problem is that you don't know the 5 secrets that I'm going to talk about tonight. And once you know them, here's what will happen. First of all, you will be able to cash in on your brain brilliance, what God has given you in some ways naturally, and in some ways you've acquired through your life experience, and cash flow on that easily, quickly, and consistently. You'll be able to plug the holes in your money. Think about a slice of Swiss cheese. What's the most common characteristic? It's the holes. And no matter what it is you're doing for a living, my soapbox is, if you have not packaged your knowledge, you have holes in your money. I don't care what your income is. You're missing out on capitalizing on that knowledge. And you can avoid the pain associated with not having enough if that's your situation, and fix that once and for all. And then you'll feel the power and freedom that comes with knowing that you have total control over your money. So since 2009, I've been out here as a professional internet marketer, digital marketer. I'm also a certified funnel expert. For those of you that know sales funnels, I've been certified for about 7 years now. But back in the day, I used to be a cable installer. And in 2009, I got involved online as a marketer, and I started to uncover some so-called secrets to making money. And so I got involved in the system. I basically bootlegged some cable to get the money to get involved in this program. And I was led to a mentor. This was in 2009 in March. By April of 2009, I had my first check. It was $30. Whoop-de-doo, right? But it changed my life because I started to understand the power of what the internet could do. But here's where it really started to change for me, ladies and gentlemen. I got really good at LinkedIn marketing, so good that I became a top producer in this online marketing system. And the company invited me to do a training in September of 2009. And I got online on a webinar after having spent 2 days in my basement in Columbus, Ohio, to put together the blueprint of my process on LinkedIn. I did a 45-minute training, and they allowed me to sell that training for $37. And from 10 p.m. to midnight, I made about 450 sales at $37 a hit. Quick math, that's about $14,000 or $15,000. You can do the math yourself. But that, in that 2-hour window, changed my life, because it was the very first time that I was able to witness and experience personally the awesome power of God putting me in a position to monetize my knowledge. I was making some money with the knowledge, but it was a completely different, it was a game changer to get in front of people who said, Larry, I want to learn what you know from you. They weren't trying to Google it. They weren't trying to YouTube it. They weren't trying to do nothing. They wanted me. And it blew my mind that people wanted to hear from me. And that's what I wanted to kind of lay the foundation. So since 2009, the first time I was ever able to do what I'm going to teach you tonight, that's what happened for me. That went on to help me create some residual income with that training, so on and so forth. So I did quite well. So since that time, I decided that, you know what, I have more in me than just LinkedIn. So today, I have decided to print money in a variety of different ways. I've decided to take what I know and turn it into cash flow in a variety of different ways. So I'm going to show you some examples of what people are doing today. And this is just, like I said, walk around knowledge. It's training and experience. I'm no different than you. Like this one here is a book writing project. Someone paid me $1,000 to basically help them to write a book. I've written 4 books myself. Okay. I helped someone to put together a virtual CEO system on the internet. Email marketing services. You'll see that the numbers are all over the place. But here's my point. I have learned to trust that the knowledge, the skills, the talents and gifts that God has given me has value. It has more value than me just telling people that, hey, this is what I can teach you how to do. But let me back that up with some information, because somebody out here might be asking the question, well, that sounds good, but is there any room for me out here? There's so many people selling information and knowledge. Is there a spot for me? Well, Inc. magazine says it best, right? They call it the 107 billion industry that nobody's talking about. Now, this particular clip is a little older. And since then, the numbers have skyrocketed to over 300 million. And what I'm talking about is what they call the online learning industry. And this is before COVID. Once COVID hit, kaboom, the world of what they call knowledge commerce. That's kind of the category now. It's a whole category unto itself. Knowledge commerce is absolutely exploding, and people are starving for what you have inside of you, and they want to hear from you. Why do they want to hear from you? Because it's you. I'll dig more into that later. But here's another one. Market Insider, right? At the time I took this clip, which was back in 2019, August, the global e-learning market was expected then to reach 238 billion by 2024. We're 3 years away from that, and we're actually on pace to hit that number. So long story short, you absolutely have a seat at the table with what you know. The question is, will you take seriously what I'm going to teach tonight, or will you just clap your hands and get excited about the knowledge and go right back to financial sleep and let that money blow over your head? I'm going to tell you right now, what you know, somebody right now is running their credit card for. And here's the sad news about even that. You probably know what they know better than they know it and have a heart to serve better than they have. But there's 2 problems here. Because you're not properly positioned. Number one, they get second best. Because if I were to ask you, are you the best at what you do? You would say, absolutely, Larry, there's no question. Well, here's the problem. Number one, if you're the best, then they're getting second best because you're not in position. And secondly, they get the business. In other words, they get played because they're not getting what they deserve, and you don't get what you deserve. And that's compensated for taking your seat in the house of this space I'm talking about. So no matter, once again, what you're doing to make money, I promise you need to capitalize on that walk around knowledge. So the 5 secrets that I'm going to talk about tonight are the must knows to convert the knowledge in your brain into immediate and sustainable recurring cash flow so that you can experience true prosperity. Doesn't matter what your level of prosperity is tonight. If you're not doing what I'm doing, let's add to it. So I'm going to guide you through these 5 steps one at a time. So here we go. Let's dive straight into this. First of all, secret number 1, and this is the one that she launched the call with. That's her favorite. Secret number 1 is the what and why is for free, but the how has to have a fee. Let me dig into that. What am I talking about? Here's a question. How many of you have ever had anybody hit you up and say, Larry, Sue, Bob, Fred, can I pick your brain? Can I take you to coffee? Can I buy you lunch? Can I pick your brain? I guarantee you've had that question asked, or you've been the one asking the question. One way or the other, this is a very common thing. It's a true identifier of your value. So if you come here wondering, well, I don't know if I have enough value. I don't know if people will trust me enough. They've already proven it by asking. If you've been asked that one time in your entire life, then at least one person has shown you that there's probably 1,000 more people who could benefit from what's in your brain. But here's the problem with picking your brain. Here's the real problem with that. First of all, here's the definition. It's a 4-part definition. I made this up, but roll with me. First part of the definition is you know something that I don't know. So obviously, if I'm asking you to pick your brain, that's obvious. The next thing is I trust you over anybody else to help me or show me. I trust you. But here's where it starts to get a little painful. It also means I want you to be my personal Google. I don't want to do any of my own research. I want a shortcut. Take me past all the hard work. Take me past all the sweat equity. Just give it to me. Be my Google. Or do it for me. I've seen people go literally to something that they have the knowledge on and spend an hour, 2 hours, half a day putting something together for somebody and never get a red cent for that. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen, time out. But here's where it really sucks. This is where it really sucks. Part of the definition, since I know you, I expect to get your expertise for free, but I'm willing to pay others for the same thing. How many of your family members have put you in this spot? How many of your friends have put you in this spot? Listen, friends get invoices too. Write that down. Friends get invoices too. Okay. So here's the bottom line. You paid a price. Let's get honest here. Let's get real. You paid a price for the thing that they're trying to pick your brain to get. Did you not? Did you not pay a time price? Didn't you spend hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours of your own time to gather the knowledge? Or maybe you spent real world money. Maybe you spent hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to get what you have. Maybe you've lived 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to gain the experience for them to come and try to pick it out of you in an hour. Maybe you failed your way to success. I got a buddy of mine that spent 10 years in prison, and he got out and wrote a book called From Prison to Purpose, making crazy money on a failure. But people want to pick his brain about how he was able to have success coming out of prison. But here's my point. Like I said, if you paid a price, then why shouldn't they pay one too? It is not an equitable exchange of value for you to give someone something that clearly has monetary value. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? So I want you to write this down. It's okay to ask them to pay. And if they don't want to pay, it's okay to let them walk away. Now, I just freed 5 people on that one right there alone. I'm giving you permission. I'm letting you loose on the world tonight and telling you it is okay to ask them to pay, because now you should see yourself very differently. You should be like, I paid a price, and it's not fair that you don't pay a price. So you got to pay me. You got to pay me something. So here's an example of the what and why being for free and the how has to fee. So if you decide to continue to let people pick your brain, by all means do so, but come with this method or this approach. I'm going to use myself as an example. Somebody says, Larry, I know you know how to build a house. I want to build a house, right? I want to get a house built up from the ground. I want to pick your brain. Let me take you to lunch. Okay, let's get it. Right? So I sit down with you and I say, here's what you need to do. You need to hire a contractor to dig a hole in the ground. And the reason why you need to do that is so they can lay a foundation for the house to be properly supported. The next thing that you need to do is you need to, go get some materials, right? And go get those materials at wholesale. And the reason why is obviously to save money. So I'm going through the what's and whys with you, right? You're writing it down, you're excited. And then you come to the point where you say, well, Larry, it all sounds good, but let's go back to the top. How do I find a reputable contractor? When the word how tumbles out of your mouth, I'm hearing cash registers, because the how has to have a fee. I call my mechanic. I have a personal mechanic named Bobby. I called Bobby the other day because the window in our minivan was stuck in a down position, right? I was like, Bobby, man, I'm over here doing everything. I'm hitting the buttons, nothing's happening. He's like, well, here's what you need to do. He started going what I needed to do. Now, Bobby lives about 45 to 50 minutes from me, right? So, Bobby, I'm not going to sit here and play with this thing, man. And we chuckle because he has the know-how. So he drove from where he lives at. I gave him $15 for gas, and then I paid him his labor for him to come to my house to take probably 20 minutes to fix the problem, because the how was inside of him. Bobby's smart as a mechanic to charge me. And some of you are as smart as Bobby, except you're not charging. Come on now. The what and why is for free. The how has to have a fee. So here's one of my students, June Collier, right? June took this pick your brain thing so seriously, ladies and gentlemen, that he erected a page that literally channels people to pick his brain for a fee. He calls it the brain picking session for $75. And by the way, he was doing this stuff for free. I mean, most people do stuff like this for free, but he was like, enough is enough. There's certain things that I know that people need to pay me, but here's how he set it up. Take an hour, and on anything you believe I'm qualified to talk to you about, let's talk about it, right? So he actually put up this page, and then he sent me this screenshot on Facebook. He's like, bro, I just got my first $75 consultation. That was within a couple of hours of him actually putting up the page. Think about that. Think about how many times you've sat down with somebody, spent an hour, 2 hours, whatever, and didn't come away with anything. But the real kick in the face is this, and you know what I'm talking about when I say this. They're not going to do what you said anyway. Why? Because there was no skin in the game. They really didn't value you. So you give them all this knowledge and expertise and pathways and doing whatever, and they don't do a damn thing. Or some people are so bold as to literally go pay somebody else for what I've seen it happen over and over and over again. The problem is us, it's not them. We're the problem. We got to shift the way we think. So that's secret number one. Sis, before I go any further, if you have any thoughts or comments, I would love for you to unmute yourself and maybe share. If not, I'll go on to secret number two. You got anything you want to add to what I covered so far?
No, this is so good. I'm like eating this all up. So I think we're good to just keep on going. I'm loving this. Keep revealing these secrets. So guess what? It doesn't have to be a secret anymore. Absolutely. Keep on, keep it coming. Thank you.
My pleasure. So secret number two hinges on a very serious problem. And that problem is, who's going to listen to me? A lot of you are listening to me thinking, who's going to listen to me? And I'm not an expert. People spit that I'm not an expert thing out so fast. And I know what the problem is. So secret number two is you have to know your money zone. However, before we can get to that, we got to handle this right here. Myron Golden, one of my mentors, says that most of us suffer from the debilitating money disease called it's just me-itis. You know how you have bronchitis? It's just me-itis. What that means is your knowledge or know-how, according to you, has about as much value as a Chuck E. Cheese token. If you look at a Chuck E. Cheese token, on one side there's Chuck E. Cheese's face, and on the flip side it says no cash value. The reason why you're that way is because of conditioning. From the time you were a small child, you've been conditioned to believe that somebody else had to tell you what you're worth based upon an hourly wage or salary, and they plug you into a system. And unless the system tells you you're going to be paid a certain amount of money, you don't believe it's worth anything. And this is why you're giving away all your value. You suffer from a debilitating financial disease. It is literally killing your finances. And you need to be cured of that. So tonight, I'm hopefully starting the process of inoculating you. We're talking about these vaccines and stuff. You need to be vaccinated from this mindset, straight up. Now, that being said, let's talk about your money zone, okay? So here's what I want you to think about. If I were to say to you, I have $1,000 and I'm going to give you 3 minutes to prepare to teach me the number one thing that you know with only 3 minutes of prep. You only got 3 minutes to prepare. So something should pop right to the top of your mind of what that would be for you. Okay, could be public speaking, could be Facebook ads, it could be raising kids, it could be cooking. I don't know, it could be any number of things, weight loss. You know better than I do, but you got $1,000. At the stroke of 3 minutes, if you're not ready, you lose $1,000. Put that one thing in your mind. Now, here's what I want you to understand. That thing that you know it on a certain level. Would you agree with that? Probably you would. So I'm going to use the example of stock trading. So what that means is imagine there's this mountain out here, this mountain of knowledge on the subject that you're thinking about. And everything that could be known about that subject is on that mountain. Now, at the top of that mountain are the gurus. Okay. One of my clients is a certified matchmaker. And she was taught by the lady who had this TV show called Millionaire Matchmaker, I think it is. Now, that woman would be considered a guru because she had a nationally televised TV show. Most people would see her as that. You get where I'm coming from? It could be a best-selling author. It could be whatever. Gurus at the top of the mountain. Now, at the bottom of that same mountain are the people who know absolutely nothing, right? Let's assume the gurus are at level 10 and the people that know absolutely nothing are at level 0. Now, let me throw my buddy June Collier into the mix here, because the people at 0 level knowledge are trying to climb up the mountain to some level, right? Now, my buddy June, who I mentioned earlier, himself at one time was at 0 with the knowledge of stock trading, just like you were at one time at 0 at the knowledge that you currently have on tonight's call. You came to the call with the knowledge already. However, here's what June did, kind of like what you did. He took time, he took money, he took some failure, and he got to a point where he was able to do very well with stock trading. So let's assume June went from level 0 to level 4 in his knowledge. Can you obviously see he's not a level 10, he's not a quote unquote guru, but pay attention because this is what very, very important. June is level 4 in my example, right? There's levels 5 through 10 above him. Doesn't matter. But here's the point I'm trying to make. At level 4 and below for June is June's money zone. Do you understand what I'm saying? So no matter where you are in your quote unquote expertise, there are some people, if not a lot of people, who want to get to at least your level. Now, as you can imagine, as June gets more knowledge, more experience and success, he'll start to slide up that mountain. He'll have more room beneath him and he'll have more opportunities to make money. But you coming to this call have a level of value that can be monetized right now. But here's the other thing you need to understand. Most gurus don't teach. That's why you need to. Most gurus will not actually create a course or a training. They're too busy doing what they do. Here you are with walk around knowledge that the masses could access, but you're scared because you're not a quote unquote expert. You are an expert. You're a level 4 expert, a level 6 expert, a level 2 expert. You are an expert, and there are people beneath you who need to hear from you and need to give you some money for that. So June decided that he was, now this is the same guy from earlier when I talked about the pick your brain. June created a stock trading course. He kept getting people asking him, when are you going to create a course? Because he's always talking about how well he was doing. He finally decided to put together a simple $250 stock trading course. Okay. He called it Trading Responsibly. June's a super conservative dude. He said that he was going to offer to 10 people for $250. And if he didn't get 10 people to buy it, he was going to refund those people that did get it because he don't have enough people to make it worth it. Well, guess what? Over 40 people bought June's course the moment he released it. Then he raised it to $350 and it still was getting sales. Now, the last time I talked to him, he had nearly 200 students that had gone through his stock trading course. 200 people. He might be saying, well, man, there's lots of stock trading products out here. Why did they use June? Because it's June. I said this earlier. The reason why people will buy from you is because it's you. They know you. They like you. They trust you. So they're going to get it from you. They're not going to go and get it from somebody they don't know, like, or trust. Not to mention, you may be more relatable than anybody else. Watch this. I just listened to on Clubhouse a lady talk about being in a cab. I think it was in New York City, and she was there to help Tony Robbins. Now, most of you, when I hear the name Tony Robbins, you know exactly who I'm talking about, right? At least that's my assumption. But this was also her assumption. She got in this cab, had a conversation with the cab driver, right? The cab driver said, why are you in town? And she said, I'm here to participate in helping the Tony Robbins organization do their event this weekend. You know what the cab driver said back? Who was Tony Robbins? And she said, she looked at him like he's joking. He doesn't have, she started going through the list. He don't have an accent. He's not from a foreign country. He said he was from New York, right? And he had never heard of Tony Robbins. So she pulled out her cell phone and showed him a picture of Tony Robbins on stage. He says, I'm sorry, I've never seen this guy in my life. I've never heard of this guy in my life. And she said, at that moment, it recalibrated her. That what Tony Robbins does, he does it so well. There's still a lot of people that don't even know who he is, but yet what he teaches and who he serves, there's room for people to do it just like him that don't even know him. Or even if they did know him, they can't relate to him. Man, I'm trying to sell you on you right now. I'm trying to help you to let go of that limiting belief that it's just you. It's just you is enough. Get me excited. Bottom line is, you are already someone's expert. You are already someone's expert. Level 2, level 1, level 9, level 6. It don't matter. Stop saying I'm not an expert and start saying I am an expert at the level I'm an expert. Final example, and I'll move on. I used to have dreams of being a professional chess player. By the way, I printed money from teaching chess, but let me get to my point. At one time, I had a USCF, which stands for United States Chess Federation, national rating. The bottom rating everybody starts with is 1,200, and I had gotten up to around 1,700. By definition, I'm considered an intermediate chess player. I've never won a tournament. I've never been a grandmaster. I've never been anything like that. I'm an intermediate chess player. But here's my point. People were paying me to teach them how to play chess because at a 1,700 level, for most people, that's a very difficult level to get to from 1,200. But that's my point. I was able to make money at the level I was on. Why? Because there was people below that level. I hit that pretty hard. Hey, sis, anything you want to add to that secret before we jump on to secret number 2? Or number 3, excuse me.
No, I just think that this information is priceless. I hope that everybody's taking good notes. I mean, I know I am. I am just soaking this up. I just feel renewed and I feel validated. And I mean, I know I'm getting some questions. I hope everybody's ready. And so, yes, thank you, Larry. You are bringing the fire and the heat tonight on this stage, this virtual stage. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right, let's quickly move into secret number 3, and that's to use a proven process. And so what this basically speaks to is people saying, well, Larry, I believe that I have value, but I don't really know exactly what I need to do to implement this. So use a proven process. Now, you might be wondering where to find one. I put together one to make it easy. And you've been hearing me say print money all night. I call it the print money formula, right? It's a simple to follow, non-technical, step-by-step process for identifying your most profitable walk-around knowledge and turning that into money, okay? So remember in the beginning, you started out all of the screenshots of payments. They were from a variety of different things that I have learned how to monetize. Some of them I don't even show up for personally. I packaged it and people are going somewhere to buy it while we're talking tonight. While we're on this webinar, I can promise you there's people out there buying stuff as low as $9 from me all the way up to the thousands right now. Why? Because of the print money formula that I put together. So here it is. It's 6 easy to understand stages. Stage 1 is the money zone checklist. Now, you remember a second ago, we talked about the money zone, the mountain of value. Well, I say a checklist because as like me, you probably have 1, 2, 5, 10 things in you that could actually be able to be monetized. You have a sellable expertise. Then you go through the selection process. You would want to start with the one that you believe or that we can uncover together that is the best one to start. There's 2 or 3 industries right now that are blazing hot, and you can either you may be an expert in there, or you can partner with an expert, but that's a whole nother conversation, right? So you go through the selection process, and based on that, you will identify a target market. In other words, who can really benefit from what it is that you have. And the larger the market, the better. The make money niche is the hottest niche out there all the time, no matter what, okay? Weight loss is another one, and dating those are the top 3. Make money, weight loss, and dating are the top 3 hottest niches no matter what's going on in the world, okay? Now, if you're outside of those 3, that's okay. I'm just letting you know that if you have an expertise in any of those at any level, okay, so let me stress again, at any level, because some of y'all, I'm not an expert. Stop saying that. You are an expert at a certain level, all right? But if it's not those 3, it's something, right? Bottom line is there's people looking for what you have. So then after that, you put together a plan of how you're going to deliver value, which means you position yourself as the authority, the person of value, or the expert that they don't know yet, so that they can know, like, and trust you. Then you present your offer. You build an actual process of an offer, and then you present it to the marketplace, and then you print money. Now, the number one question I get right here is, what should I charge? A lot of you haven't charged anything. Now you got this other limiting belief. What should I charge? Should I charge a little bit, a lot? Well, look, there's a couple of different factors when it comes to what you should charge. Here they are. Factor number one is what is the pain and what are the consequences that your target market is experiencing? Here's an example. This literally happened yesterday. My cell phone stopped charging. Like I went to the life of the battery. It said the battery life was 100%. I'm putting it on a charger and it's steadily going backwards, even though it's saying it's charging. Then it cut off and it scared me because I thought it wasn't going to cut back on, right? However, here's my point. Let's imagine that happened. I plugged it in. It came back on. It was a glitch, all right? A little bit of discomfort, a little bit of inconvenience, but there was no consequences. Here's what you need to hear, though. I do everything on my phone. Like my phone is literally a money-making machine. But what happened yesterday is, what really happened is that it wouldn't take a charge and it cut off so long I was scared it wasn't going to cut back on. I got in my car and I went straight to the cell phone store and I spent money that I wasn't planning on a new phone. Why? Because the pain produced a consequence that caused me to take action. See, here's the point, ladies and gentlemen. Just because somebody's in pain does not mean that they're a buyer. Yes, there has to be pain, but there has to be a certain amount of pain to produce a certain level of consequence for someone to actually buy. That's a factor in how you determine the price. The more painful it is and the more severe the consequences, the more you can charge. If you go to the dentist just to get a cleaning, that's one price. But if you crack your tooth and your nerve is exposed, oh, trust me, you're not going another day, another second without that being fixed. And trust me, it is a different cost than cleaning your teeth. You follow what I'm saying? Factor number two is the level of difficulty to fix. How hard would it be for you to help them get the solution they're looking for? That's a factor. And then number three is how specialized do you have to be in order to fix the problem, right? If I have a headache, go to the local urgent care, right? And he says, hey, I just did a CAT scan. You got a mass. The buck stops here. I can't go any further. You need to go see this specialist, right? They're both doctors. But trust me, the urgent care doctor and the brain specialist don't get paid the same, right? So that being said, let's look at how when it comes to packaging your expertise at the level you're on. So I would say level one is what I call the education level. This is you selling something between $20 to $200 that's 100% digital. You're not involved at all. They go to a link, they click the link, they click purchase, they get it done. Level two is what I like to call the change level. So what that means is you might have a little bit of involvement, right? You might have a group program that people are buying into, and you're showing up to provide a little bit more assistance because, well, that's what they're accessing you for. The final level is what I call the transformation level, where you're showing up in a way that literally puts a person from A to Z. Or in other words, have you ever seen the TV show Pimp My Ride or Extreme Makeover Home Edition? That's a transformation. You go into that house, it's all tore up, it's raggedy, it's leaky roof, old furniture, old carpet, paint. They take that family and they go do whatever. They come back, completely different house. But clearly, that's a different expense than just painting the walls and changing the furniture. They transform the house. So if you know you can offer a transformation to people, then you can start at the level three. And I believe everybody here can produce a transformation. It's just a level of personal belief. But long story short, this gives you an idea of how you should charge, right? So we're going to pick up the pace here to wrap up. Just a quick testimonial from Pamela. She said, print money formula is awesome. Some people just need a bit of help seeing they really do have value. The key is to take action. When you believe in what God has placed inside you and you want to share that with others, it's a no-brainer. Now, I'm going to quickly go through this one. You can't really see it, but this is Londi Jones. At the time of Londi coming through the print money formula process, she was in her early 60s and had just taken custody of her grandson and was on a fixed income. Long story short, she started going through the process and she figured out that she had something in her, that she created a product and got $2,500 for it. And it was something to do with something for special needs parents. I don't know. I don't remember what it is. But long story short, she found money based upon going through that process. All right. She also did something else that dealt with family traditions. Like people were flying her all over the country during the holidays to come into their house to teach them how to set up a family tradition. I remember all the details, but I'm like, wow, that's really unorthodox to print money with. But, you know, she believed in herself enough when she did her money zone checklist. That was one of the things that she put on there, right? So that's secret number 3. Let's pick up the pace so we can wrap it up. We got 2 more secrets to go. Secret number 4 is to bottle it. And I've been hitting at this all day about packaging your knowledge for sale. So I was inspired to come up with the print money formula by reading a scripture in the Old Testament called the widow's oil story, which is found in 2 Kings 4, verses 1 through 7. So if you don't know the story real quick, there's this widow. She's in major debt and she's dirt poor. She's about to lose everything, and she asks this guy named Elisha about her situation. He asked her one question. He said, "What is in your house?" And she says, "I don't have anything except for this bottle of oil." He looked at that, and I imagine he could see the value, because this is what he said. He said, "Number 1, I want you to go borrow some pots from all your neighbors." She did that. He said, "Number 2, I want you to take this oil and pour it into the pots." She did that. And then number 3, he said, "Go sell the oil." And the Bible says in verse 7 that not only was she able to pay off her debt, she was also able to live on what was left over. Now, here's the point. Larry, why are you telling me a Bible story? The illustrations and the metaphors to me matter. And here's what I mean. I don't know your situation clearly, but I believe that most people, if they're honest, are struggling financially, and they're going outside of themselves with no success. This pandemic hit, people are like struggling. And you have in you, inside of your knowledge and expertise and experience, metaphoric oil. It's already in you, but you can't see the value. So you need somebody else on the outside to say, "Hey, that has value. You need to pour that out and sell it." So my question is, what is your oil? What is it that you have been in possession of in your knowledge, your skills, and expertise, and you out here struggling, can't hit your income goals, can't do the things you want to do, and you have the solution between the 6 inches between your ears? That's the point of the story. Here's another one from the Word. For all you people that don't like to sell, Proverbs, the book of wisdom, the people curse him who holds back the grain, but a blessing is on the head of him that sells it. That's actually in the Bible. I remember doing a presentation. This guy's like, "Yo, man, I've read Proverbs over and over and over again. I've never seen that." I was like, "Well, I didn't make it up. Pull out your Bible one more time and look it up." There's a blessing in selling, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the blessing in just giving away your grain? Well, it's a curse if you hold it back. It's got to be a curse if you just give it away too. I'm not no Bible scholar. I'm just simply saying, why not go ahead and package it up and sell it? So once you uncover your brain brilliance, you bottle it and sell it. So the bottle these days, ladies and gentlemen, is a digital bottle. It's a video bottle or bottles. Put your stuff in video form. It's an audio bottle or bottles. Put it in audio form. It's a PDF bottle or bottles. Write it down and make it available, or any combination of all that I just said. And there's a few other things out here. But wouldn't it be nice to get up in the middle of the night to go get water or go to the bathroom, and you hear your phone buzz, you pick it up, and there's a sale from somebody in Sri Lanka or Northern Africa, okay, or the Philippines, buying your expertise. That can't happen if you don't put yourself in position. And if you're listening to me tonight and you're not in position, get in position. Now, here's one of my favorite case studies. This is my buddy, Andre Gaskin. And when Andre and I met, we met for lunch, and I thought we were going to do business because I'm a closer, right? However, he revealed to me at the time that he was a homeless veteran. And so I completely turned our whole conversation around. This is before I had the formal print money formula. I knew what I could walk him through. And in those 2 hours we were together, I helped him to identify some things that he had in him that he could actually use to make money. He was not only homeless, he was headed possibly to jail for back child support, so he said to me at the time. Well, then he sends me, after our meeting, I think it's a week or two later, he sends me this message on Facebook saying he had made $1,500 in one day. He got it from a chiropractor. Now, one of his skill sets was marketing. He's a brilliant marketer. But at the time, that oil was not poured out. He has since not only been able to turn his life around, but watch this. Him and his partner were just featured in Black Enterprise magazine. His name is Andre Gaskin. Feel free to look him up on Facebook. Hit him up. Tell him I sent you. Look at the headline. The entrepreneurs behind Client Attraction University have helped their students make what? $100 million. That guy right there was homeless. Today, he's in a Black Enterprise magazine feature because now he's printing money with his oil. He figured out how to pour it out in a massive way. And then finally, secret number 5, and that is you need to find your Elisha. In other words, you need to get a mentor. And a lot of you have blind spots when it comes to your money, which is why you may need to plug into what I'm doing. Because as I said a second ago, what's your oil? And most of us don't see our money blind spots. And that's why we're struggling. And I want to strongly encourage you that if I've resonated with you at all, then maybe I'm the guy. If not, that's okay. No matter what, though, I want you to appreciate that there's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-figure income in you. I don't know who I'm talking to right now. I don't have no idea. But I can promise you that one of you, if not all of you, need to step up in the next 12 months and access that 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9-figure income from that walk around knowledge. Final case study. This is Carly Hahn. I'm just going to blow through this. I mean, it's more of the same. People basically figuring out how to monetize their knowledge. So today, I promise, and as we wrap up, a step-by-step strategy to identify what's in your head that can be turned into money, how to cash in on your brain brilliance easily, quickly, and consistently, plugging the holes in your money, and how you can feel the power and freedom that comes with taking control of your money situation. So here are the 5 keys really in a snapshot. Key number 1, or secret number 1, the what and why is for free, but the how has to have a fee. Remember, it's okay to ask them to pay. And if they don't want to pay, it's okay to let them walk away. And friends get invoices too. You need to get a shirt that says that. Friends get invoices too. Secret number 2, the money zone. Know your money zone. You are an expert. Stop saying you're not an expert. You're an expert on a certain level. Okay. Number 3, proven system. I have one. You want to plug into mine? Great. Number 4, bottle it. Pour out your oil in a digital way, and then, of course, plug into somebody that can guide you on that whole entire process. Now, you have a choice. Option 1, go figure it out on your own. For all you do-it-yourselfers, that's by all means, go do that. But inherently in that process, bunch of wasted time and money. Trial and error is always going to cost you more. Always. It may take you months and years to get all the details. You don't have anybody to answer questions. I remember somebody like, all the YouTube lovers, people like to love to learn everything on YouTube. And I said this to one person. I said, well, the last time you had a question after watching the YouTube, did you ask that video the question? And what did the video say back to you? They said, huh? I said, exactly. So get out of here with that junk. You need a mentor. You think Bruce Lee learned what he knows from a book? You think LeBron James learned what he knows by watching YouTube videos? He had a coach. Both of them have coaches. Anyway, expert to hold your hand. You don't have anybody to hold your hand, and you can get frustrated and quit. The smarter way is to plug into a system. Save yourself time, energy, money. And of course, that's the proven process. You work with somebody who's actually done it. You don't waste time and money. Who has time and money to waste? You get access to mentorship and you stay motivated and you can get to the money faster. So if it makes sense not to fly a plane without proper training, a map, and a co-pilot, then it should also make sense not to try to do this without training, a plan, and expert assistance. High achievers, this is the blueprint. And if you're on here as a high achiever, you're nodding your head like, yep, that's it right there. Here's the high achiever blueprint. Proper training plus quality mentorship plus hard work. That's where success comes from. But the non-high achievers, the people that struggle, they chop off the first 2. They don't get properly trained or mentored. They go straight to hard work. Don't do that. So my invitation tonight is just to book a strategy session with me. So if the idea of turning what you know into cash flow seriously interests you, you got some lingering questions outside of what we'll do in Q&A, by all means, ask as many questions as you can. And you value the wisdom of a system, or you value the wisdom of saving yourself time, energy, and money, then book a strategy session with me. You can text PMF to 813-562-6602, or you can go to printmoneylarry.com, plug in your email. There's another version of the same presentation, plus my calendar link, right? So here's what you can expect if you decided to book a session. I don't sell anything on the call. Basically, it's just a diagnosis. We're going to do a structured game plan. I'm going to help you identify any blind spots, answer your questions, help you overcome any fears and doubts that you may have. And then if you believe, based on the blueprint we put together, that you and your team can pull it off, go pull it off. But if you believe that me and my team might be better suited, then let's talk about that. That's how we work. Okay. Now, if you want to book a strategy session, here's how you know if you should. If you're tired of giving away information to people that you should be getting paid for, then you should book. If you're ready to transition from being everybody's free expert, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Pick Your Brain for free, and you want to be the paid expert at the level you're on, because everybody's an expert. Stop saying you're not. Schedule a session. If you need help overcoming your self-doubts about just being just a nobody or average person that nobody will pay, come on, man, y'all gotta seriously book a session. Okay. If you want expert feedback on what your knowledge is really worth, you want me to help you appraise that, come on, let's talk. And if you already know what you want to do to print money, to package it, to pour out your oil, and you want to discuss how my team can help, then that's a reason. So you got 5 different reasons why you could or should book a session. So you can text PMF to 813-562-6602, or you can go to printmoneylarry.com. Real quick, I got one more slide after this. I chose what I call ordinary, regular people rather than I got people that make multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, and all that. But most people don't believe they will ever get there. I wanted you to see a homeless veteran turn his life around with his knowledge. I wanted you to see a retired grandmother turn her life around, right? Me, I'm a cable guy, former cable guy, turn my life around with just the walk around knowledge. I didn't add anything extra. That's why I use those case studies. So my final thoughts, and I'll turn it back over to you, sis. If you've ever purchased somebody else's audios, videos, books, or courses, guess what that is? That was their print money formula. They took what they knew and turned it into cash flow at your expense, like literally at your expense. Isn't it time that somebody buys yours? Somebody needs to have your book on their shelf. Somebody needs to have their MP3 with your podcast that they bought. If you've ever signed up for a business opportunity, guess what that is? That's also somebody else's print money formula. Some of you have an entire business inside of you that you won't even let out. Let's go ahead and let it out. Now, this is funny during the holidays. If you bought somebody's Black Friday special, Cyber Monday special, whatever, okay, isn't it time that you had your own Black Friday special? I could do a whole training on that. You've bought everybody else's brain brilliance up to this point. Everybody's. You got a house full of stuff that you bought from people. That was their wisdom, knowledge. This whole presentation was designed to convince you to buy you and then go sell you to other people. You don't need another business opportunity. You don't need nothing else but you, because you are a literal business opportunity waiting to happen in a completely different way you've ever thought possible, hopefully. Isn't it time to cash in? If it is, for the handful of you that will not let your limiting beliefs stop you, you will be texting me, PMF, to 813-562-6602, or you won't. Or you can go to printmoneylarry.com, watch another version of this to kind of really let it sink in, or not. It's up to you. But with that being said, I'm excited to have had this time to serve tonight. We're going to open the floor for Q&A right now. So since I'm going to turn it back over to you, thank you for this opportunity once again. Your final thoughts and feedback will be awesome, but the floor is yours.
Unmuting is always nice.
Yep, that tends to work.
Thank you. And so this was fabulous. And I know that we got a lot of good watches, and I know we will get a lot of good replays. And I just want to say thank you. And I do have, we have some thank yous and some claps going here. So I know that sometimes people have the thoughts of they have to see if their idea is competitive, like if it's one that they say do the market research first. So is that something that you would, before they call you, should they first do the research to see, is this something that's in the market? Is this something that they should first know is marketable?
Unless they have the skill set and knowledge to know how to research something, I would say no, because most people have the foggiest idea of how to do that properly. So why waste time trying to figure this out when I can just put you on the path? Once again, it's that whole do-it-yourself mindset. I would discourage that. I would encourage to just reach out to me so we can have a discussion. I've been doing this since 2014. So there's probably not much you can ask me that I don't know how to point you in the right direction. So that would be how I respond to that.
And as far as, and this might be the same answer too, as far as having experience in having a business, running a business, or knowing anything about that, what do they need to come to the table with?
Well, listening to the way I presented this, just a desire to consider where they've been to this point. Like I said, most people have already experienced the picking of the brain. They've already experienced helping people. They have a passion in some ways. People see them as the brilliant person that they are, and they keep minimizing it. Mm-hmm. So I just want you to give yourself a chance, you know, just to just show up. But the challenge for most people is because of the conditioning I talked about. Mm-hmm. They know that they need to do something different, but the conditioning is bigger in their belief system than what I just said. That's true, right? Mm-hmm. So it's true that you have prosperity in you. It's true that your walk around knowledge can be turned into money. That's true. There's too many people doing it. Yes. But if you have allowed or going to allow limiting beliefs to stop you, I don't have the time in this training to even start helping you with that. I'm just hopefully encouraging the few that hear this message that they'll give themselves an opportunity to at least get on the road.
Sounds good. Well, again, I thank you so much, Larry. This has been fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So giving you a clap up. Thank you again. And so just saying thank you from everybody in the audience. And so I'm going to keep that scrolling, your information scrolling at the bottom so that people will have that. And I'm going to just say goodbye, wave goodbye, and thank you for coming on, and just say a few words to everybody. So again, I just want to thank you guys for joining us and remind you that we are here and we will have our next event coming up. And I just want to make sure you guys know what we have coming next month. Make sure that you set your calendars and that you are ready to join us. I hope that you got a lot out of today. If you did not get a chance, if you didn't see it from the beginning, it's very important that you go back, watch it from the beginning. I know for a fact that you've seen this and that it spoke to you. Not only that, I know that as you watched this, you thought about somebody. You thought about somebody that you didn't ask advice from. You thought about your sister, your brother, your friend. Make sure that you spread this message. This is for them too. Like I said, when I first seen Larry, I was just so attached to the message. And I sent the message to some of my friends too. I was like, oh, you have got to hear this message. And so I'm so excited that he was able to come and share this message with you all. And again, if you listen to this, if this resonated true with you, and I know that it resonated true with you all, and that you know some people that need to listen to this message because this is their time, this is their season to move forward and stop allowing limited beliefs to stop them. Tell them it's time for them to move forward. And guess what? We're going to see you all next month right here as we bring our next speaker up. And if you are interested in ever doing a TED Talk, I want to make sure that you join us. I'm going to go ahead and show our next speaker. So yes, Tuesday, April 13th, make sure you join us here at 6 p.m. Again, my name is Lenice McGee. I thank you all for joining us, and make sure you watch the replay. Until next time, be blessed.